Okay, there we go. Okay. Hello. And let me just get everything just right. And we're ready to go, I think. Hello, everybody. It's Monday. It's our little pop-up show, and we love doing it because we love the people on it. And there are a lot of them today waiting to go on, so we will just bring them all in right now and admit all. Here they go. Here we go. There's Charlene Solis and Scott Boddicker is here, and Jeffrey Stein. Marjorie has just joined us. Len LaFrisco. Jeff, did I mention you? I guess I did.
Yes.
John Ewing is here. And who else? Anybody else? Let's see. Paula has joined us. Well, let's bring her in. Okay, there we go. Oh, we're getting here. And let's see here. Okay, well, that's enough for now, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, we have to mention the fabulous Edward Berger.
That's right.
How are you all?
Good.
Good.
Good. Good.
Yeah, you're doing fine. Well, we just lost Paula.
Uh-oh.
Vince. Yeah. Oh well. Well, she'll be back, I'm sure.
I'm back.
Anyway, hello to all of you. How are you? This is a Monday.
It is.
Yeah. Yes, it is. How are you doing, Len? Where are you? You're at home, right?
Yeah, but your favorite wallpaper is right here.
Yeah. Wallpaper. That's right. And let's see here. Oh, Paula is here finally. Let's see here now. Maybe she's having some trouble. Could be she's having problems. No, there she is. Hello, Paula.
I did, so I came back in again.
What was your problem?
Sometimes I get like some background noise from another channel. It's another talk show. I don't understand what it is, but
It could be just you've got something else running on your computer at the same time. That could be.
I guess it's possible.
It's possible. It's always possible.
Whatever, I'm here. Hello.
I like the way you have you're savvy to computers.
I wouldn't go that far, but I do have grandchildren that have taken me gently into the 21st century. Yeah,
That
so
helps.
Yeah, I mentioned to Marjorie, show you how the world has changed for us. I said to Marjorie yesterday, I said, at our age, we're old enough now, we could probably do heroin and not worry about it. Because so if we get hooked, if we overdose, fine, goodbye. I've had a nice life.
yeah, forever is
And
a
then
little shorter than it used to be. Huh?
She said to me, yeah, but we wouldn't know where to get it. And I said, well, I guess we could go down the street and just ask any teenager.
I suppose so, but
They would know where we could.
I think I'm dopey enough. I'm good.
You're dopey enough. Okay. Yeah. But I have a theory about old people that really we should rebel against the government. And here's the reason why. We have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
We could take up arms like a revolutionary army, and so what?
But could we lift them?
We what?
But could we lift them, the arms?
That's another problem. Well, we'll come up with new technology and have lightweight ammunition for old people. But I'm going, I mean, gee, we got nothing to lose, right? We could fight against what's going on in a very vital way. So I don't think Paula would join us.
It sounds pitiful to me. I know. It's just like I'm picturing how that would work.
Yeah, but pitiful is also the government you've got right now. So
that's more than pitiful.
Yeah. Damn. And look at who's at her desk today. Mandy. Hello, Mandy.
Hello.
Yeah. What are you working on today?
Just the normal stuff that I always work on.
Yeah.
Never ending hamster wheel.
Is that a boring job? You talk of it as a hamster wheel.
No, it's not really. I mean, there's some things that can get tedious, repetitive.
Yeah.
There's always something going on crazy.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I never ask. I know, but Edward Berger, you don't have a job, do you?
Nope, I'm retired.
Now, how old are you?
I retired when I was 50.
Nice.
What?
Whoa.
So yeah,
Dang.
What did you do?
Some
I
people.
worked for the city.
Well, no, you retired,
Wow.
and you could retire at 50.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I just thought retiring at 50 was being lazy. But you,
Depending on the contract he's got, he probably
Yeah.
makes as much as he did when he worked.
yeah, do you get a nice pension?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, now I get, and then I got started getting Social Security and
Yeah.
so I got a lot of money.
And the Social Security doesn't get affected by your pension, right?
No.
Okay. I have a pension from AFTRA.
Oh, that's good.
Pays me about $1,000 a month, but you know,
Not bad.
no, it's not bad. It's something. I would have had more if I had worked at more stations that were AFTRA. But in radio, by the time the years wore on, most stations weren't AFTRA anymore. Not because they couldn't be, but because they weren't voted in by the people at the stations. And so I went to work for these stations that didn't carry weren't AFTRA. And if I had, I would have gotten a lot more money than I'm getting now. If I had worked at AFTRA stations constantly
Mhm.
my life, I'd be getting a lot of money right now. So anyway, hello to Mike Chisholm. He's joined us.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Yeah, I never asked you, what do you do for a living exactly?
I'm a financial planner guy, life insurance and investments and all that stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I could come to you and you would invest in stuff for me?
If you lived in British Columbia, Canada, we could have a conversation. That's where my licensing is. Actually, technically, I'm across Canada.
Yeah, I've got a guy down here. So
I'm sure.
yeah, he's okay. Today I lost $3,000, but that's because the stock market took a dump.
Right.
3,000. You haven't lost until you pull out. You haven't made or lost until you pull out. You're either up or down until that point.
Very good point. So
Yeah.
you don't want to sell until you absolutely have to sell.
And you don't want to panic when you're down, because ups and downs are what give the fund manager the ability to make money. The volatility is what gives them the ability to make money. So
I've got about the same amount of money I had when I put it in.
Oh, well.
That's what she said.
goal.
It's like I can't spend the money fast enough. And I really should. Marjorie, let's go start spending it fast enough.
Sure.
Book a cruise for us.
Okay.
I'm sure we're all in the will, right?
Yeah, right. Sure. No, but wait a minute. I don't know if I want to go on a cruise after watching the poop cruise.
Did you watch that?
Oh God.
That's
Yeah.
is that not gross?
That was awesome.
Gross. I missed it. What is it?
Well, it's about a cruise that was Princess, was it?
Carnival.
Carnival.
Was it Carnival? Oh,
Yes.
It doesn't sound like we missed anything. Those of us.
What
Doesn't
happened?
sound like a carnival either.
God. 5
All
Carnivals.
their electricity went out on the ship.
Yep.
And so with it, the toilets.
Yep.
So people were then pooping in the hallways.
Oh,
Because they refuse to use the bags because they're typical Americans.
Yeah. It has to be.
The red bag.
These red bags that they could put the poop in, right?
Yeah. They don't follow directions. I'm not doing that.
I'm just wondering, why didn't they go in the toilets, even though they would fill up? Why didn't they go in the toilets?
Some of them are doing that.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they did fill up.
but then
Why didn't they just go to the edge of the ship?
Yeah.
some of them did.
Hang it out. Yeah.
Well,
Wasn't there a
If
poop?
you want to do that, your chances of falling in the water are pretty good. You know?
Isn't there usually a poop deck on those trips?
They go to the poop deck. It's at the back.
And it
What do you
seems
think the poop deck's
like
for?
be doing anything because you haven't been eating. So
Yeah. And some people were saying they just wouldn't go. You know.
Yeah.
How many
How do you
days?
do that?
This is a stupid question to ask on this show because
Then don't ask it.
I'm just asking people here, how long could they go without having to poop?
Okay. I cannot speak for myself, but our youngest, well, he'll never watch it. It'll be fine. Our youngest, he's like 28 now, but
Your youngest is 28. Boy, are you
Yeah.
an old guy. Anyway, go ahead.
so he, growing up, he, likes to do that at home. Doesn't like to do it in public.
Right.
And one time on a vacation, went 5 days.
Yeah.
5 days without.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
There are some people like that. They
Well,
want
I-
vacation.
Yeah, I think I went 5 days once. We went up to some kind of thing, and there were no toilets. It was out in the woods, and I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of gathering, and there was no toilets, and so you would have to poop in the woods,
Yeah.
where the bears go.
Yeah.
And I
Enough for the
couldn't do
bears.
that. That just wasn't my thing. I needed porcelain. So I
Mhm.
actually did not go for 5 days. And the minute we
Jeez.
left that place, the first time we hit a gas station, man, I was out of there bolting like lightning.
This is a modern psychosis. Like, Alex, your parents certainly grew up remembering outhouses and things like that, right? Like this is one generation
I
basically
don't know
where
that my
these phobias
parents ever had to
don't
I don't know if my parents had to deal with outhouses.
No, not in the new world. You didn't have outhouse, unless you
Well,
live in
my
rural, but not
father
in
was born in
cities.
1906. And
They had
if you were in a city, there was indoor plumbing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, by then.
Turn of the century with electricity too.
It's funny that I asked this question just now because I thought about it and I said, this is a question I've never asked on any show of anybody.
I couldn't even go 2 days.
You can't even go 2 days. How would you handle the situation? I guess the red bag?
I used the bags.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bag.
bag.
Problem.
How do you do that though? Do you strap it to your butt or what do you do?
Well, I'm not saying there wouldn't be a learning curve, but it's probably worth
Thank you. But at least try. These people are like, I'm not doing that. They're just
You're gonna hurt yourself. I mean, you cause all kinds of problems holding that in.
Well, no, in 5 days, you're not going to kill yourself, I mean, I usually go 2-3 days without doing anything,
That's too much information, Alex.
I can't believe we're talking about that.
Well, how many days do
You
you
are
go, Marjorie? You're always
Can you
going-
imagine?
What?
There's somebody that's a first-time listener.
Hey, you know what?
Happy job.
For decades, there's been a book that elementary school kids have read, and
Oh, yeah.
called Everybody Poops. Everybody, and it's
Everybody
the
poops.
Everybody.
Oh, that's a great book for kids.
Well,
There you go.
Everybody poops.
Yes.
That's
Not in a bag, though.
not in the bag. No. But anyway, so after we saw that, we went, cruise ships?
On a Viking ship, on a smaller ship.
I've
you'll be
It was a
fine.
Viking ship.
Well, they
Yeah.
can still
No, it was
lose
a carnival.
electricity.
Carnival.
They can still lose electricity and do things like
I think
that.
they could.
That was like 10 years ago. I think they
Yeah.
made some,
Yeah.
It's very
based on
rare.
the experience.
Well, it's never going to happen on Princess again. You can be goddamn sure about that.
Right.
I would take it that you're not a big one for camping, right, Alex?
I am not. I forget it.
Me neither. Me neither.
Nope.
I don't know why people enjoy. How many people here like camping?
I go as long as there's a nice comfort station.
There you
Oh,
go.
I see. Okay.
Why do you want to pretend to be homeless? I just don't get
It's not pretending to be like the camper we have has an AC unit, and
Yeah.
we stay in a nice state park, either South Carolina or Georgia. They have really nice comfort stations. It's just a good little base camp. Like you have a little base camp, and then you can go do different stuff.
But do you live in a tent?
No, we have like a little camper.
Oh, come on. That isn't camping.
No, it's
Right.
Camping.
not the kind of
Glamping.
camper.
Glamping.
Camping fun.
Trust me, there's people that have those campers that it's like, why are you bothering? Like this got a bathroom in it and a kitchen and
Yeah.
whatever. But this camper just is enough for a bed. It's like a tent, but it's like a hard shell
Yeah.
with an AC unit.
Yeah,
In a
my idea.
box. So,
Mm.
but it's basically like a glorified tent.
Do you know what they call them in England? They call them caravans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what they call them in Canada?
No, that's what they call them in England.
Since you're under almost British rule?
Almost, but not quite. Yeah, they call them caravans over there. I have a couple British clients who I just love the little eccentricities of the language, and that because where I live in British Columbia, I mean, camping is it's an industry here. I mean, 20 minutes in any direction from where I am right now.
Well, yeah, you're up in the
beautiful.
Yeah, but Canada is mostly woods.
Yeah, like in BC, there's so much forest, and it's all crown land, which is like there's so many parks and lakes, and fishing and hunting is epic here.
I don't know.
Mike, have they reprinted the money with the king on it?
I'm waiting for it, man. No, I got 100 the other day, and I'm sitting there waiting for King Charles, but no, it's not there yet. It's
Not
still...
yet, huh?
Maybe
they're going to skip him.
They better do it before he
Probably.
dies.
Yeah, I'm gonna be around that long.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No.
We're going to be in Canada in October. We're going up to Niagara Falls, that area. So,
Have you been?
yes, long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome there.
I've never been to Niagara Falls. Have you, Marjorie?
No.
Isn't that something? Start off
Worth
on your
it.
vacation. Go there.
Worth it.
Especially the Canadian side.
This is something
Yeah,
we can.
I've heard the Canadian side's better. I don't know if that's true or not.
I'm just hoping I can get back in the United States.
Yeah, that's
something we can ask Edward. Oh yeah, question for you. Have you ever been to Niagara Falls?
A long time ago when I was a kid, and I didn't see the falls, but my nephew got married up there by Niagara on the lake, but we didn't stop to see Niagara Falls, so I
Cool.
was there twice.
Niagara on the Lake is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't get to see Niagara Falls.
Yeah, well, we didn't have time.
Yeah. I guess they're still spectacular. Anybody else here ever see Niagara Falls? Oh,
Not sure.
I'm not sure.
how is it?
I've been here when I was very young.
Who was not sure?
Shit.
Oh, you were very young, you say.
I think.
Definitely.
You think? God, when I was a kid, I remember all the places my parents took me.
Me too.
Yeah.
But
I was on the boat, the Maid Mist thing, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
the Maiden of the Mist or the Mist.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's a
Yeah,
boat. It's a boat.
it's a boat.
Yeah.
It's like a tugboat.
Yeah, I wait for Mike Chisholm. It's about what?
Not bad. Not bad.
Well done.
Oh boy, I'm telling you. So did all of you have a good 4th of July?
No.
Still have all my
No.
fingers, so that's good.
Yeah, what did you have? Did you go out and eat, or did you make something at home, or what'd you do?
I barbecued. I don't know about you guys.
What did we do, Marjorie? Nothing, right?
We watch movies.
We watched
There you go.
movies. Yeah, yeah. We did. That's what we did do.
We went to Massachusetts to see my daughter
Yeah,
and family.
and the family. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was good. It was a beautiful day and
Did you have a lot of traffic?
a lot of what?
Traffic.
Traffic.
You know, it wasn't bad.
Huh.
It was funny because people go in the opposite direction from where we were going. Yeah, it was jammed all the time.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we were very lucky. And also, when we went home, it was a no-brainer.
Well, I every 4th of July, I was usually invited out to Fire Island because my friends had a place out there, right?
Mm.
Well, I stopped going out there because my attitude was most of the people left Manhattan on 4th of July to go to Fire Island.
Or the Hamptons.
So I would say to myself, why do I want to go there when I can stay back in Manhattan and it's quieter than it is in Fire Island? And it is. It's to this day, I think it's actually quieter, except in this neighborhood where every kid goes out and buys fireworks. But, but I got to tell you, we didn't get to see the big fireworks display because it was too far out of our view, right?
Yeah.
But the little display
It's down by the
people
Brooklyn Bridge.
locally did was wonderful. And these are all
Mhm.
illegal fireworks going up and everything. But why they would spend that kind of money on the 4th of July?
Some of those things are pretty impressive.
Yes.
know?
Some of them weren't some of them very impressive, Marjorie?
Yeah.
Yeah, even here in California, they're completely illegal. And it looked like,
really?
it was crazy. I mean, they were everywhere.
Are they that illegal still in California?
Yeah, they showed a helicopter flying over Oakland, and it was just constant boom, 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 everywhere coming out of everywhere.
Yeah, I think they're illegal, but they go,
Yeah.
why should we?
What are they going to do? You can't go to every street.
But it's just that some of them are still blowing them off in the neighborhood. It's
Yeah.
like they bought them, they didn't blow them all off, and they got to get rid of them somehow.
Yep.
But there a few years back, it was starting 2 months early, and there were just fireworks all the time. And then I talked to people in California, and you had them out there too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, big, giant displays that people were buying. But
San
anyway,
Francisco had a display this year. They did one.
oh well, San Francisco always did one.
Yeah. They're still
because
doing it.
I had my shrink had a boat, and we used to go out on the boat and go
I
into
did this.
the bay and just sit under these fireworks,
Yep, I've done that.
Because they're over the bay usually.
And sometimes they're just colored fog.
Yeah. What did you do, Charlie, now that you have a girlfriend?
I tried to avoid drowning.
What?
Oh, the flood. The flood.
Oh, that's right.
Rain for 5-6 days. Rivers
Yeah.
are 20 feet above normal. We have 90 people dead in Central Texas from the floods on 4th of
That's
July.
right.
Really?
No, I did not have fun on the 4th of July.
Let me just ask you a little question, though. Do you think they were Trump voters?
I'm sure they were, and they got what they deserved.
Well, okay, that's what I was going to say, but I didn't want to say it.
But I mean, it was scary. There's a big drainage ditch in front of my girlfriend's neighborhood. It was filled to the top. We were afraid it was going to come over.
Yeah. But the
In a lot of places it
have
did.
the rain stopped now?
It's not raining right now, but there's rain in the forecast.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens tonight.
But there was like a camp with like some girls, and I think 32 of them or something got killed.
Yeah.
So
And there's still dozens of people missing. They haven't found yet.
Yeah.
I heard it was 82 people died.
90. It's over 90.
82 people. I'm talking about these girls in this camp.
Oh,
Yeah, one camp. Yeah. They got washed away in their sleep because there was no warning because that orange idiot canceled all of the NOAA weather people.
Oh,
He still wants to get rid of FEMA too. I just don't understand that.
Oh yeah, no FEMA. Who's going to come in and help people? There's no more FEMA.
Yeah.
Well, I still have a FEMA.
In the morning.
FEMA, I barely know her.
I mean, this is what you get when you elect idiots to presidency, and Americans are just stupid.
Charlene, what did you do on 4th of July? Anything?
Who are you talking
Charlene, can you hear me? Yeah.
Oh,
You're only Charlene here, actually.
yeah. We didn't really do anything on the 4th, but we went to the county fair on the 5th. But that's with my son and his partner.
What county is that?
Alameda.
Alameda County Fair. Yeah. Did you ever go to the California State Fair?
I've been there. Yeah.
Went there a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah.
State fairs used to be a really big deal. They don't seem to be anymore, however, So, and what did you do on the 4th of July? Oh, were you away, Mandy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Out camping?
Like the mountains in North Carolina, like a little town.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a festival and they had a really good fireworks display. So a lot of people come from all around.
Yeah.
So I went there Friday and Saturday. Friday, spent the night, Saturday came home.
I wonder how many places catch on fire from those fireworks.
How many?
I don't know.
It's
been a lot of rain around. So
yeah. I do know here in Manhattan they do it out in the rivers. You know, they do it in the Hudson. They do it not in the Hudson. They sometimes
This
do
year
it.
they did it on the East River.
Yeah,
But they switch.
and
A lot of people burn themselves.
the what?
Well,
How many people lose fingers?
Yeah.
they have all these fire equipment and they
Yeah.
don't know what they're doing. And next thing they know, they burn themselves.
I'll tell you, it's amazing. I think there were far less fatalities and injuries than one would think, considering how many are going off. You know,
My sister's husband, which would make him my brother-in-law, I suppose. He's got permanent damage in his right ear, and he's got a gnarly kind of scar on his hand from when he was, I don't know, 17 years old. And it was like light, and then pulling it back, and then bam, and that's when it blew.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of people who have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll be the first to tell you that it was an exercise in stupidity in doing so. But sometimes people have to learn hard lessons with that stuff.
I remember. Do you remember cherry bombs?
Totally.
Oh, sure.
Totally.
Do you know what they were? They were about a quarter of a stick of dynamite.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
What
And
about barrel bombs?
Huh?
Do you remember barrel bombs?
What's
No.
a barrel bomb?
A barrel bomb?
Yeah, they were upgrade from cherry bombs.
Oh my
They were
God.
half a stick of dynamite.
Right.
If you blew off a couple of cherry bombs, you couldn't hear anything for days.
Yeah.
You know.
I know one gal, she got hurt, and I think it took her like about 6 months where she was in the hospital.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, trying to put her arms back together.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Boy, that's fun, isn't it?
A
Yeah.
Yeah.
lovely party.
Let's start talking about poop again. That was bad.
Yeah.
Well, as a poll, how many of you actually like fireworks?
In the right time and place, absolutely. Go to Disneyland and tell me you don't like
certainly
fireworks.
like
Disneyland's great. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I always found them kind of dumb because all people
Really?
would do is they would all blow up in exactly the same way they always do. And then everybody would go, "Ooh, you didn't see that before? Of course you did." You know,
It
although
was a year ago.
the ones in the San Francisco Bay were different, though. They had shapes of hearts and things like that. I'd never seen that before.
Oh, the new ones are crazy.
Oh yeah, like go to
To bridge
Disneyland.
our conversation we were having, I saw this funny video online because people make fun of the fact that people do post videos of fireworks. And it's like, you don't need to post videos of fireworks. We know. But I saw a funny video on TikTok that had a video of fireworks. And instead of the actual noise, it was flatulent sounds. It was like, can you imagine if that's what fireworks sounded like? It was hilarious.
You know what Marjorie did one year? We had the Macy's fireworks display on here, right? TV. She's taking pictures of the TV set and posting them online like she's there.
What's wrong with that?
Don't make fun of it.
Thank you, Charlie.
It's kind of cheating, wouldn't you say?
Actually, it's really smart. Because
We were talking about flooding, Scott. Are you anywhere where there's bad flooding?
No, not at all.
No. Okay.
We barely had rain, you know.
Barely had rain. Wow.
We had a little rain, I mean, quarter of an inch, nothing, you know.
So
they were just all stuck down over Austin, San Antonio, San Marcos.
Well, southern Texas.
So yes.
Yeah. And you're in northern Texas.
Oh yeah, yes.
You're up near Dallas.
I'm up near Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yeah, he's way north.
You're
Yeah.
up near Oklahoma. Yeah. So when you tell me, oh, I went to Oklahoma, you kind of go, yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 60 miles to Oklahoma, 70 maybe.
Yeah. Is there any reason to go to Oklahoma? Is it a nice state?
Yes, to get to Kansas.
I got to tell you, when I was driving across the United States, you always go by, oh, gee, I'm only 100 miles from the border for the next state, and then I'm only 100 miles before the next border. When I got to Kansas, it seemed like that state went on forever.
Try Texas sometime.
Well,
Yeah.
I know Texas. I lived in Texas,
You
but
can drive all day and never leave the state.
That's true.
that's right. It's a huge state. But I'm saying Kansas is, and it's also flat and square. I mean, it just has no personality at all.
No trees. No
Yeah.
trees.
And
Much
no-
like my ex-wife.
Whoa.
Who said that?
I'm myself again, everybody. I did ketamine last week, and I am totally myself again.
Nice.
Lots of humor. Lots
I mean,
of
ketamine is good for you. It helps you mentally.
Well, it's the one time only. Yeah. This is you know what? When you and I do our next one-on-one, we can spend the entire time talking about it. I don't want to. It was life-changing. I can't believe.
I'll probably do that
I
sometime.
prepped for it for an entire month. My doctor referred me to the clinic and all that sort of stuff. I did all this prep for it and counseling sessions and everything. Last Wednesday was the session, and I'm myself again. So you're gonna hear a lot more wisecracks from me because I'm totally myself again.
Well, what is it?
How is it administered? How is it?
A little shot in my shoulder. It wasn't full on IV. It was just a little shot.
But don't people take ketamine orally sometimes for recreation?
Yeah, the recreational stuff. I've heard that's one thing that they do or whatever. But this was administered with with professionals. It was an anesthesiologist who did it, and a nurse stayed with me the entire.
What's of it, Mike?
What?
What's the purpose of it, Mike? What did you take it for?
Well, different people take it for different things. Anxiety, depression, PTSD. For me, the last 4 months, essentially my fight or flight had not been turned off. I was in fight or flight basically for 4 months straight. Every once in a while I would take a pot gummy. The pot gummy would turn the fight or flight off, but I'd be high. This year, it gives you a reset. And for me, one of the things that I like the most is it turns on your neuroplasticity for about a month. So I have the same neuroplasticity right now that my granddaughter.
Neuroplasticity. What is that exactly?
Kids have kids' neuroplasticity is on at an insane amount, and it goes down over time. That's your ability.
How is it?
That's why kids can learn languages very fast. Yeah. It's like your ability to learn, your ability to retain information. I mean, it turns it back on again for about a month after this session here. So
do you have to have it again in a month?
No, for me, it's a one-time deal. It was so epic and transformative and all these sorts of things that I might go back for another one. I don't know, 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line, maybe. But the reason that I chose this method as opposed to like a daily SSRI, or if you're going natural, like a daily, like a microdose or something, I wanted something to fix it. I didn't want a Band-Aid. I wanted stitches. And that's what this did. I'm just like.
That's wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Paula.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I listened to an interview of with Jon Stewart and Trevor Noah. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but Jon Stewart talked about a time when I don't remember what the medication was, but he was his brain was moving in so fast that he couldn't. It was making him miserable and everybody else miserable, and he had some kind of medication that had the same effect as what you were saying. Fascinating interview, by the way.
Yeah. And I mean, it had all the trimmings. It had every single thing that you'd ever want from a psychedelic, which I've never really.
Okay, so why would you?
It's not psychedelic. It wasn't. It's whatever he was taking. I don't know. I don't know about ketamine.
Right. But my question is now, why would one take it recreationally? What would it do for? If I just took it recreationally, I found some kid who knew where it was, and I scored it.
Yeah.
What would
the problem with that is that it's not regulated in terms of the dose. You don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
That's always the case with street drugs.
Yeah. No,
also,
but you would go on
supposed to
Mr.
be
Toad's
legal.
Wild Ride, though, Alex. And that's the appeal that some people will do it just to go on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I did it. That was for me. That was an added bonus. This year is what I was more interested in is the actual repairing of my psyche, and it did it.
It did it. Good. Terrific.
Nice.
I noticed that Mandy is getting ready to leave.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're going to teach again today? Going to do another?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll follow her on that little adventure.
Yes.
So anybody seen anything good lately? I always ask that.
F1.
F1, you like it?
It was really good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good too.
You saw it too. Anybody else?
I talked about it last week, I think. Yeah, it was good.
But is it something you should see in a theater?
Yeah, but we did not do an IMAX because for one thing, it was going to be $63 to see it.
What?
I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah, tickets were almost $30 a piece.
Holy
Two of
no.
you. So 63.
So we saw it in regular, and then we even both agreed, me and Henry both agreed that I don't even know if we could have taken it in IMAX. Maybe Mike, you probably saw it in IMAX, right?
No. We don't have an IMAX in my city here, but I'd probably, if I could see it again for the first time, I would have seen it in IMAX because some of those visuals and the sound was spectacular. We're gonna go see Superman in IMAX though.
That one, yeah. This one, I almost feel like it. You know, we were like, that may have been too much for us to see that, but on the big screen, it was definitely good.
You know something? I don't like IMAX. It's just I have to sit in the very back row.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. It's just too much for me to take in. If
you and I went after COVID, Alex. You and I went after COVID, and we hated it because we were so far up and we couldn't. Wasn't good.
It was okay. We saw Oppenheimer.
Yeah, but it wasn't necessary to see it.
But I'd rather go to a normal theater and watch this picture with,
But wait, Nolan loves to like splice in scenes for different movies that are shot in IMAX for IMAX. Did he do that with Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer, the whole picture was in IMAX, shot in IMAX.
Okay, so he shot it that way. So it's worth seeing then if he does it that way. It is enhanced. Like The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of sequences in The Dark Knight that he actually shot with IMAX cameras.
Right.
We actually saw the movie in the theater in IMAX. It really popped that much more. So, yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the reels they put those things on?
Yeah.
They're gigantic.
Huge. I can see why they don't
like
them very often.
700 pounds or something. They've got like a crane that lifts them into the projector. So, but anyway, so you saw F1. Good.
My wife and I saw Jurassic World, which was not good in my opinion.
Wait a minute, the new one?
Yeah, the new one.
With Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, I love her too, but it was just enormity of growling dinosaurs. It was just ear-piercing, just kind of redundancy, I'd say.
Yeah, but when kids go to a theater and see that, they like that.
Oh, yeah. Two little girls gave it a standing ovation at the end.
I'll tell you the picture I've been wanting to see, and Marjorie will not go to see it. And that's Superman. I think it looks like it promises to be quite good.
I'll wait for television.
See, Paula wants to go see it.
What I've been seeing, what I've been reading about it, and seeing the previews, it looks like they're really. I mean, I have very, very good memories about the original Superman. I saw that with my family on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, and it was it was wonderful.
It appears that the real star is Crypto, the dog.
Yeah. It's going to be magnificent. If you're a Superman fan, there's no question this movie's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's done by the guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy, and I thought that was that was pretty inspired, But Marjorie won't go with me, so I may go by myself and go see Superman.
I'll see it on television.
Oh, okay. You say you use the term television. Is that a proper way to even explain it anymore?
What would you say? My video cassette?
I'm gonna stream it.
I'm going to stream it, or I'm going to watch it on my flat on my big screen. Well, you basically have a movie screen in your house.
Still called a television.
Yes, it is.
I've been thinking about buying us an 86-incher.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, you might as well. If I had the money, I would.
You see? Where would you put it?
I got a whole wall I can put it on.
On the ceiling.
Shecky used to have, he bought a big TV set. He bought a 36-inch tube.
Yeah.
I remember they were the biggest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then one day, of course, it was time to change over to a flat screen. And he couldn't get this thing out of his room.
It probably weighed 100 pounds.
200
Oh yeah, those Sony Vega TVs back in the day, though, they were the bomb. The big 36 or 40-inch tubes, they were the best.
Yeah, but it was just they were too heavy.
Yeah, they were 300 pounds.
You had to build a house around them.
Yes.
I never could understand. I had some people I knew once who had a house in San Francisco that was on a hill, and on the other side of the house where their windows were, and they brought a piano in, a piano, and
I got a better story.
What?
Sorry.
What?
My parents lived in a co-op in Coney Island in the 1960s.
Yeah.
They were on the 16th floor. The refrigerator they purchased would not fit in the elevator. A guy strapped it to his back and walked it up 16 flights of stairs.
Oh my God.
Did they tip him?
Yeah, back then I think 25 cents was the standard back then, wasn't it?
Oh, geez. Wow.
My father told me that story more than one time, and I can't even imagine that.
Well, we have 8 floors here. When we moved in, there were a couple of items that had to be carried up the stairwell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your armoire, I think, had to be carried up the stairwell.
And couch.
Yeah.
And the couch? Wow.
Well, the couch, though, was a little easier because it cut, it was in sections.
Your elevator is a death trap.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that. Oh my God.
Wait a minute. It seems like it's a death trap.
But it's not.
It hasn't plummeted yet, huh?
I've never had it stall on me, but I always make sure I have my phone with me.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. But I mean, it's that, those are the, I don't know how old those are.
Well, isn't that the reason why you're only at 8 or 9 floors there? Because that's as high as they could go in
We're at 8 floors. At that time, here's what the story was. That they couldn't make them more than 8 floors because elevators worked on hydraulics. And you could only have hydraulics that were going up the height of the highest piece of land near you. And in New York, the highest is about 8 stories tall. There are some hills here and so on and so forth. And that's what determines it. When they built another building,
The sister building.
one called the Anthorpe, they built it to 12 floors because electricity had come in and they could make electric elevators. So that's why up until a certain point, you only had 8-floor buildings in Manhattan. So that's a little education for you. Thank you very much.
Very educational.
Yeah.
What did they do with the Eiffel Tower?
What?
I'm thinking, what did they do with the Eiffel Tower? Because people couldn't have climbed. I guess they could.
The Eiffel Tower has what technically they've been called inclinators. They're not elevators because they don't go straight up and down, at least to the second level. They go at an angle like this. There are 4 of them in each tower, and they go up at an angle, and they're called inclinators.
I went to the top, but I don't remember how I got there.
Well, then when you go up to the next floor, which is like the third part, the highest part you can go, That's a straight elevator.
Mm.
But when I was in Vegas, there was a place called the Pyramid. You know, the
Yeah,
Pyramid.
Luxor.
Luxor.
Yeah. And they have inclinators. They
do.
literally go like that. And when you're standing in them, it's the weirdest feeling you've ever had because you expect you're in an elevator and you're expecting that up and down feeling, and you're getting this, weird sideways feeling. It's amazing. Just amazing.
It's like an amusement park.
Well, that's what Vegas is.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, I can't get Marjorie to go there either. She's no fun. Anybody want to go to Vegas with
I have no desire to go to Vegas.
I'm going in August, so why don't you go with me?
Okay, when you're going, maybe I'll fly out there and join you.
That would be great.
And
Oh my God! Now I want to be part of that. I want to go to Club Alex Bennett.
Well, let's all leave. Let's all meet in Vegas and leave Marjorie here.
That's fine.
By the way, Manny was talking about firework videos earlier. I posted my very favorite firework video in the chat, in the Facebook chat of this show. It's fantastic. It's about, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's a firework in a residential neighborhood, and it's a firework fail. It's a big firework, and it blew up way too low, and it is a very great video. So anyway, I posted it in the chat.
Oh, what, the whole neighborhood blow up? What happened?
Let's see if you can. Let's see if you can.
Here we go. Hold back. Oh, what?
Ooh.
Oh.
Who set that off, Lefty?
I laugh every time I see it.
Wow.
One goes bouncing by and hits the car.
Jeez.
Apparently, no one was injured in that one. It's just we can all laugh at it. Nobody got hurt.
Well, fireworks are quite dangerous.
Oh yeah.
I always used to have to light them and then run as fast as I possibly could because I didn't want to be anywhere near them. Well, that's how they developed the Chinese space program's really quite big right now. Most people don't know they have a space station up there.
Yep.
But they couldn't get these rockets to work until they could find a guy who could run fast enough after lighting the fuse. Thank you. That one's really
That's pretty good.
I'm wondering how old that joke is. I think it was the first space joke I ever learned. But no, but it's just I watch these things and I go, God, they're so dangerous. Maybe what it is. I'm a pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in any vaginal sense. I mean that in the absolute just, if I were, I'm a kitten. All right.
You don't have to disclaim it, Alex. You're in a safe space. We won't judge you.
I've been always.
I will.
I would never. I would. Thank you, Paula. I would never do anything that would endanger my life.
Yeah.
I don't.
You married Marjorie.
Enjoy doing things that could possibly endanger. Like, I won't go on a roller coaster.
Never?
Hmm?
You've never gone on a roller coaster?
I don't like roller coasters. I've been on a few of them in my time, and I've hated every minute of it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I've
skydove, I've bungee jumped, I've done a whole bunch of.
Yeah. See, you like to go to the edge of death, right?
See, I don't look at it like, but I won't light fireworks. Like, to me, it was completely safe. I had zero thought that I could potentially die from any of those experiences. They were done very, very safely.
But bungee?
Yeah. See, it was over water, and the guys were professional and all that sort of stuff. They were like, seasoned guys. They owned a business doing it. Every time I did it, actually, bungee jumping I found scarier than skydiving, to be perfectly frank.
I would like to skydive. That's the weird part about it.
Do the tandem one, man. It's awesome. Then you don't have to worry about anything. They take care of it for you.
Yeah, but I mean, I might do that before I die. I mean, I should put that on my my bucket list.
That the exit plan?
It just.
Exit plan.
What did you say? What did you
I
say?
said, is that your exit plan?
That's my exit plan. Yeah. I think I would. Would you do it with me, Marjorie?
Yeah, that I would do.
If we
Really?
do tandem jumping, though, we get somebody who would be attached to us.
Yeah, because then you get
Yeah,
the,
a three-way.
minute free fall as opposed to
Yeah.
3 or 4 seconds.
With my luck, I'd bungee jump with a guy who had lost his fingers a week before using fireworks, and he couldn't pull the thing. So, but no, that sounds. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing skydiving. You know why? I'll tell you. I couldn't do bungee jumping because I can see the ground from there, and I can see a straight line to the ground. All right. So I don't panic in an airplane when I look out the window.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if you jumped out of a window and skydived, you would panic.
It's
No,
No.
I totally with Alex, I totally agree. You walk up to the
You
edge,
panic as
you have
soon
this
as
thing in your body that's like,
Yeah.
don't do it. But when you let go of the plane, there's no context whatsoever.
There's no context with the ground.
Yeah.
And so therefore it's just, hey, I'm flying.
Until you see the ground.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, it's hard to explain. But I've bungee jumped maybe 8 or 9 times, and every single time it was scarier jumping off that edge than it was letting go of the plane.
You're not going to
Did
die
anybody
from
go
the ground.
skiing?
skiing.
Yeah, because if you're at a big high place, you're really going down fast. And
Well, we've lost a couple of people that way. Sonny Bono,
Yeah.
Right.
and we lost Liam Neeson's wife died that way.
I think she died skiing. She hit a tree or something.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Sonny did too.
Sonny hit a tree
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
And with skiing, there's tree wells as well. People get caught
Yes.
in tree wells and they fall into them.
Yeah.
What wells?
I
Well,
call it a tree well.
A tree.
Right around a tree, it just tends to the snow melts.
Yep.
So
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Is that called a tree well? I never knew that.
That might be a Canadian thing.
Everything's a Canadian thing.
Yeah, especially if you cover it with cheese. If you cover it with cheese, then it's a Canadian thing.
If
Or syrup. I just want to see if that's a thing or if that's just a thing that's up here now.
Never heard it.
what's that thing that kind of food you have up there that
poutine.
poutine?
Poutine, yeah.
What is it exactly?
Poutine is fries, right? And then you put the cheese curds on. If it's done right, it's cheese curds. Okay, it's not just regular grated cheese. It's the actual squeaky cheese, the curds. And then you get a hot, I personally say peppery gravy. And you put the peppery gravy over, and it's got to be hot though, because it melts the cheese curds into the fries, and you eat it with a fork. And there's many variations of it. But
You eat it with what? With a fork?
No, you got to eat with a fork, yeah, because it's like, yeah, because it's more like a casserole now at this point. It's if you melt it right, the cheese has got to melt.
Yeah.
And there's many variations. Like we've got a poutineery downtown.
A poutineery? Is that what it's called?
And they've got like 10 different variations. There's poutine with mac and cheese, poutine with bacon, poutine with you can get all sorts. But the one I described is like the classic.
I could swear when you said poutineery that Mandy laughed.
Now there's a cruise I would go on. I'd go on a poutineery cruise.
A poutineery cruise. Okay. No, but poutine, you can't get it here in New York, can you?
We have it at McDonald's here.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
It's like in France, McDonald's, you get wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Culturally, McDonald's has had to adapt to various cultures, and I would imagine they would have poutine.
In Eastern Canada, I don't know if it's the same with like Maine or places or whatever. There's a lobster burger that comes in and out.
Why would you ruin a lobster by making it into a burger? Well, wait a minute. We get lobster rolls. Why would we?
I think it's
ruin-
like that. I think it's like I think that's
No, but with lobster rolls, you get the chunks of the lobster.
Yeah.
You know.
Hmm.
But I had the best lobster rolls anywhere in the country when I was up in Portland, Maine, and with my ex-wife Ronnie, and she took me to this place called Red's Lobster Rolls. And if anybody's watching this who knows about that area, you know what I'm talking about when I talk about Red's. It's just incredible, just incredible. I still remember how good it tastes, you know. But anyway, so let's see here. So anybody going to be taking a trip at all anywhere?
I just found I'm going to California. So
Oh.
my cousin is going to be 90 years old.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to have a party for him, and
Stop
we're
by and
invited.
say hi.
Yeah, in LA.
My question is, when he's 90, don't you have to do that kind of fast?
I hope he shows up, right?
I mean, halfway through the flight, they give you a call and say, "Nah, you can turn around and go back."
Jeez.
I shouldn't laugh. My business manager just hit 90, and we went to his 90th birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 90 and still doing my books.
And you notice he has a new boat and a new car, and
Yeah.
it's like,
No, I don't
Yeah.
worry. The only thing I worry about is, I mean, come on, he's handling my finances. So
yeah.
he did turn some of my finances over to somebody else, but only
Is it just him or does he have a team?
Hmm?
Yes, his wife.
Okay. Oh, well, all right.
His wife could, if something were to happen to him or him becoming incapacitated, she could find everything that you need.
Yeah, and send
Probably
it
have
to
to
us.
find ourselves another account.
Yeah.
But I hope I have this accountant forever. He's a great guy, just a great guy. But let me see here. We got about 3 minutes left here. What other questions haven't I asked you today? I asked you the best one.
Yeah.
One.
Well,
How long you can go without
what's the longest you've gone without pooping? Did I ask you, John?
My memory's in default right now.
Yeah.
As to
I can't recall.
whether I asked the question or not. Did I ask you, Edward?
I don't really remember.
You never remembered spending several days not being able to poop somewhere?
Let me think.
I mean, camping is a good answer. But,
Yeah, I never counted.
Mandy will never camp where there isn't a good comfort station.
Me either.
So how
that was key. Well, I was going to say you didn't actually ask me, but to not get gruesome, when I had children, and I didn't even have children.
Right, absolutely.
I had cesarean sections, but it still kept me from
after childbirth, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Why is childbirth prevent you from pooping?
Well, if you have it the natural way,
If you can shoot something out of that part of your body, you should be able to shoot it out of another part of your body.
Alex, use your imagination. It's kind of damaged down there for a little while.
I have
squeezing out a kid.
I have no idea, neither does Marjorie.
And I didn't either. I had C-sections, but it still affected it.
You have how many kids? 2?
2, and I had C-sections, but it's like major surgery in your abdomen. So.
Did you have to have C-sections both times?
Yes, because the first time, I had to. It was like it wasn't an emergency, but I had to have one. And then the second time, they're like, you should just go ahead and plan to have one because it's very dangerous to have a baby if you've had a C-section.
If you had known better, would you have them just install a zipper?
Yeah, for real. Yeah. The second time was definitely better because you don't go through labor. You just check into the hospital and get it done.
Well, Marjorie and I have never had kids. but everybody else here has. So,
And Edward.
And Marjorie, do you miss the fact that we didn't have children?
Maybe like years ago, I missed the fact, but then you pass that miss the fact part, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I just never, some reason I was very careful about not having kids because I did have one, I think. And because of that situation, I was very careful about whether I would ever have a kid again. Oh, but I'd only do it by somebody I trusted. And nobody came along, This girlfriend I had, Kathleen, thought she was pregnant. And I thought that was kind of nice. She came to me, she said, I think I'm pregnant. Like, how am I going to react? And I went, terrific.
Kathleen?
Huh? What? What?
Kathleen?
Yes. Well, I know she was very Swedish looking,
Not pretty.
Well,
Not
but lots of fun. We had a great time together. Lots of laughs.
Why don't you tell them you're pregnant tonight, Marjorie?
Name a religion after me if I did.
Yeah. But so I never had any kids, and sometimes, I wish I did, but then I would have never had the career I had because once you have kids, your whole what do you call it?
Options change.
Your whole way of doing life changes,
Your perspective changes. There's no question.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, listen, we've run out of time here. God, I love you guys. I really do. And the ones that aren't here today, like Albert and Francine.
Where are your kids?
Andrew?
Yeah. What does your shirt say today? I don't know how to act my age.
I've never been
this old before. You've worn that one before. Yeah. Anyway, I have one that is looks like a bloody shirt. Okay. It's like really bloody. And
I bought it for him.
Yeah, and it says problem solved. Anyway, goodbye to Scott Boddicker. Looks like a nice sunny day there in your part of Texas.
It's okay. It's nice.
It's deep in the heart, And Jeff, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. Len, great to see you. Marjorie, I'll see you for dinner. What's for dinner?
Bought you back something from the restaurant.
Oh, yeah, you brought me lunch. Yeah. Edward. Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. John, thank you very much. Charlene, I love it when you're here. Paula, you give us a good laugh now and then. Appreciate that. Mandy O'Brien, good seeing you, kiddo. Have a good time teaching whatever you teach, stuff you do, whatever.
Yeah.
And Mike, thank you. And we'll hopefully see you again next week. And I'll call you later, get a hold of you later this week.
Let's do it.
And Mike and Charlie Wallace, thank you so much. I almost said Mike Wallace. Wallace, thank you so much for being here.
Stay safe down there, Charlie.
Yeah. And we bring it all to an end right now with Edward Berger, who says,
that's all, folks.
Bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice
Bye.
week.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.